Assalamu alaikum, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Catering Circle Season 4 Restaurant Talent Show 2019 Episode 2. Tonight we'll be looking at embracing new technologies, and we'll actually find out who goes through to the Business Conference 2020. We've got lots of participants and we've got our judges, we've got our mentors. It's a jam-packed show and hopefully we're going to stay on board and see what happens. Before we carry on, let's see a recap of Episode 1.
Welcome to the Restaurant Talent Show 2019 Season 4.
Legacy is taken over by our youngsters. That's what I see the changes before I go into the details.
I'm really looking for something completely different.
Cut our cost and save money. So this is the issue I'll be looking at.
2 weeks of the month, if we've overspent, then we already know that our target is this.
Our menu involves things like scallops. It's very unique. It's more like fusion food. I really wanted to be completely going away from the traditional way of people actually going.
Measuring the spices, measuring the onions, measuring the chicken, everything is more controlling the actual consistency of the food.
You have to do everything in a handy cook, where we do in a back home.
We always try and cut down on cost of the main ingredients and stuff like that.
We've been doing a lot of videos. On the videos we saw that the engagement had dramatically improved.
We really have to be very careful about posting our posts, whether it is actually going in a professional way or is it going to an unprofessional way. We do a lot of charity work. Once a year we work with breast cancer, and also lately we have sponsored a football club.
He's using the last 5 seconds of winning this round.
That's it. And now I'll take that in.
Thank you so much.
We actually have our own app within the restaurants, so basically when the customers order they can have real-time tracking.
Absolutely anything that can go viral, so spread through word of mouth and also through the digital area such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter and so on. That's going to, and shared as well amongst, it can reach new clientele as well as the old.
Your business is your personality, and they're bringing it out and shining on the stage.
In the previous season we were actually going toe to toe with each other. All three of them are good friends of mine, and all three of them to be still in the show.
When customers make a choice, they look rather at the description of the dish as opposed to looking at a price and basing it judged on that.
I've reduced 2 waiters, but I give them a pay rise and top give them. I make sure they had the tip as well.
Controlling shift work. What we do is shift workers. So we have the rush. The busiest time is 5 to 8. It had the impact. We have fully qualified staff.
With the advantage of having the EPOS system in place, that obviously it saves a lot of time when it comes to orders, because orders come straight through.
And how much you charge for a portion like?
Depending on what the mood the chef's in on the day,
Suppose we're looking for restaurants in Whitechapel. We'll be going to Google and type restaurants in Whitechapel.
They've got a good understanding of how to run their business.
We know how hard it is to stand behind there and to have 1 minute and 2 minutes.
If it's a lesson learned, it's not a loss, is it?
Sometimes kitchen porter, they observe more than the chef.
Zarathumar, asking will for next time, but keep trying, and we learn from each other's.
I have the results. 2 winners that apparently we've got 84%, and Raj Tandoori, congratulations, and Mr. India and Raj Lodge are with 68 points. So we actually have a tie. What I'm going to have to do now is get the tie. Mr. India and Raj Lodge, if you could please come in front of the judges. Whoever gets number 4 will make it through to the finals at the business conference. Let's see what Mr. India's got. 1, and we've got Raj Lodge with 3. Well done, congratulations. So we are taking Taj Tandoori and Raj Lodge to the finals.
Wow, we just saw our episode 1, and I think today our judges have got a big job on today. Without further ado, I want to first introduce our panel judges. If I can start on my far right, we have Mr. Abdul Haq, Vice Chairman of Channel S. He's the founder of Catering Circle and also the MD of Purple Light Technologies. Good evening.
Thank you.
Yep. In the middle, we have Graham Kill. He's the Technical Director of Rationale. Also, he's been in the catering industry for over 30 years. Good evening, Graham.
Good evening.
Yeah, good. And finally, to my right, we have Mustafa Kamal Yaqub. He's the president of Bangladesh Caterers Association. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, how are you all?
Not so bad, thank you.
Good.
I hope we'll enjoy the program.
Fingers crossed. Obviously, we could see that from the first episode, we had a tie break. So panel judges, I would definitely ask you to make some notes, lots of observations, and let's see what happens. Sure. Without further ado, we need to see a short clip of today's episode.
2. Embracing new technologies, understanding, evaluating, and taking advantage of technological innovations for the restaurant industry. Why do restaurants fail? Among the burning issues identified in our roadshows is the lack of taking advantage of modern technologies.
We need to educate people to make them understand what the industry is about and how to sustain the industry by going forward. So it's very important that people are aware that technology plays a big part.
Restaurant industry future all depends on new technologies.
বর্তমানে যে ডিজিটাল মেনু বারোইছে কম্পিউটারাইজড ওগুলা যদি তারা প্রোভাইড করেন অথবা তারার সিস্টেমও আনইন তে আশা করি এই প্রবলেমগুলো সলভ হইব
Time has changed, but we could not come up to the time. Technology is one way that we can take our business forward. We need to use social media. We need to use technology. Followers from social media, from Facebook, Twitter, from other links that I have to my business. These are the people that bring me business. They're the people that buy my policies. These are the people that tell others about how good or bad my service is.
About the technology provided by all those experts. Can't we spare some money for this technology? So my dear friend, we are responsible for us. Let's start the business fresh.
How technology affects restaurant choice. When it comes to choosing where to eat, people might like a new restaurant concept, a certain chef, or how fashionable a venue is. But what is most important to UK diners when choosing where to eat? According to a recent Boost report, more than half want to browse a restaurant's menu online, read reviews, and check out its location remotely. 91% said quality of food, 89% range of food, 88% value for money, 86% friendliness of staff, and 84% speed of service. According to research by Deloitte, about 35 million people in the UK now use smartphone technology. Hence, technology is increasingly important. But what are the main benefits of using technology in restaurants? Speed of service, convenience, easier to look up nutritional benefits, help in decision process, and easier to split the bill. Consumers' tech wish lists for restaurants are booking online, digital vouchers, food tracking, checking reviews online, free Wi-Fi. Desire for restaurant technology varies by region. Most annoying things about eating out. When staff forget the order or get it wrong, waiting for staff to take the order, waiting to pay the bill, fellow diners talking on mobile phones, if the bill is calculated wrong. As our nation becomes increasingly digitally savvy, technology upgrades can help restaurants stand out from the crowd of 56,000 restaurants in the UK. So, while restaurateurs must embrace the digital age and invest in the latest technology to avoid being left behind, don't forget the basics. Technology may evolve rapidly, but some aspects of hospitality never go out of fashion.
We've seen our topic for today, and we've got some special guests as well, and we need to introduce them. I have with us also our special judges and our mentors, so let's meet our special judges. First of all, if I can start with Abdul Bari, good evening. Yep, you are the Managing Director of Royal Regency and Regency Events. Nice to see you. Next to Bari Bari, we have Kamal Zaman. He's the CEO and Technical Director of SimStar IT, a cyber security consultant. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
Also, we have Sultan Babur. He's the Research and Publication Secretary of Europe Probashi Bangladeshi Association, also a successful businessman and a community activist. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
And last, we have Mr. Farhad Hussain Tipu. He's the Executive Member of Catering Circle, also the Press and Publication Secretary for BCA.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Also, we have some familiar faces here today. We've got our mentors. If I can introduce our mentors, we have Sami Uddin, He's the winner from Catering Circle Season 2, Restaurant Talent Show 2017, the owner of Shafiq's in West Sussex, and also good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yep, and next year we have a good friend of ours, Mr. Abdul Kashim. He's the owner of Chili Bar and Kitchen in Hertfordshire, also the finalist for Restaurant Star Show 2018. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yep, good. No, so we've actually met all our special judges, the mentors, and we've also met our panel judges. Without further ado, we need to see today's participants. We've seen the participants, and before we continue, judges. We've got our panel judges here. Obviously, very briefly, I did mention before, you've got a big task today. You've each got 20% of the judging votes. So I would definitely make loads of notes, and there will be sort of time to ask questions. Obviously, what do you expect from the participants? If I can start with Kamal.
I expect them to do whatever you have just mentioned, how they're running their business using the technology, the newest technologies, and how it's benefiting them. We want to hear from them.
How it's actually going to help their business.
Yes, how it helps their business and how it helps their productivity and how it increases their business.
Brilliant, thank you. And if I can move on to Graham?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm particularly interested in how they use technology in the kitchen.
In the kitchen,
right. How they recognise that the potential for the return on investment, and how that technology will help them to attract and retain staff in their operation. So all of that sort of thing I'm looking to come through in the presentation.
And obviously the same question to Hock, if I may ask. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be looking at cost saving, how they use the technology to probably save staff, reduce cost, and also how they use technology to do marketing and to increase revenue as well. So we'll be looking at cost saving and revenue increase mainly from them, and hear their success stories, of course.
Fantastic. So there's a lot of information we're going to find out very soon. So I think it's time to go to round one. We've got our first contestant that needs to come on stage. It's Lal Bagh Restaurant, Mr. Mithun Chaudhary. If you can kindly come on stage. Hi, Mithun, how are you?
I'm very well.
Nervous?
A little bit.
It's natural.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 2 minutes to talk about your success story and how you embrace technology. And your time starts now.
Right. I've been using, obviously, technology, EPOS system and so on. It's how you use the technology, basically. Obviously, everyone uses the EPOS system nowadays. I think about 90%. But it's how you're using it, it matters, really. So it depends, like with the EPOS system, you can do your stock takes, do exactly specific what you're using, what you're not using. So you can save cost in that way as well. The efficiency is good. It saves time. Plus, you're getting more orders. You could do more orders in probably, I could take 10 orders in probably 3 minutes. That's quite a lot, but it's how you're using that technology, I think. And obviously, I use other softwares like bookings as well. But it's the specific, and I've got 2 minutes, so it's very difficult to explain everything at one go. But I would say it's how you're using that technology to help the business.
Yep. You finished. You've still got 45 seconds.
I'm fine.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you very much. Yep.
Thank you.
If I can now ask, yep, that's grand, that's great, thank you very much. If I can now ask our second contestant to come on stage, it's Indian Ocean, Mr. Ruhul Hock from Cambridge. Yep, I think he's making his way. We're almost there. Yep, brilliant. Hi, Rahul, how are you? Yeah, good. Rahul, yep, so same question applies to you. You've got 120 seconds to talk about your success story and how you embrace technology, and your time starts now.
Thank you for inviting me to the show. What I would like to bring to the program is new technology in the new appliances in the kitchen. What I've done is also invested in the EPOS system in ordering, stock taking, online ordering, online payments, and customer. I would also like to say, because of the staff shortages, we've implemented a few appliances in the kitchen. For example, the ration oven, which reduces the skill of the tandoori chef and the cook also, and dishwashers and food preparation machines. So it cuts down on time, cost, and it's more efficient.
Brilliant. You still got 45 seconds. If you want to share any other information, how you actually apply your equipment into your business. If there's anything else you would like to add.
Oh yes. For example, the reason for the dishwasher was there was a shortage of skilled kitchen porters, and the investment of the EPOS was the shortage of skilled front of house staff, and the self-cooking ration oven was because of the cook position of the.
10 seconds.
And the skill of the tandoori chef also is eliminated.
Perfect. Yep, finished right on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Yep, if I can get our third contestant to now come on stage, it's Adam Hussain from Basil Spice in Basildon. I love the name. Hi Adam, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good evening.
Good. I love the name Basil Spice, very unusual name.
What it is, Basil came from, well, I'm based in Basildon, so I thought to myself, hold on, how do I get a name that's interesting, at the same time a bit quirky? So basil is a herb, and spice is a spice. So I thought, right, shortcut for Basildon, basil and spice, I put them together, here we are.
Very good, very good.
So I'm a bit of a novice compared to a lot of these people around me, but I got involved 2 years ago, and I'm based in an industrial unit. So one of the first things I thought to myself, and you'd be lucky to see any individual walk past me at all from the whole day. So if my shift starts from 5 o'clock in the evening to 10, 11 o'clock. So I thought, how do I get all these individuals involved? So the first thing I did got social media. I got involved in social media. We basically using our ecosystem that's integrated.
Thanks, Adam. Adam, we're going to start the question about your success story to deal with technology.
Okay, so
if I start you off now, go ahead.
Right, so basically, first thing I thought to myself is basically getting on board with social media, because the old school fashion of getting people in or winning on luck is gone. So people have to know about you. So the first thing is Google. Google is the first thing that you have to be on. So search engine optimization is very important, because there's AdWords, Google Analytical Words. There's also data processing where you capture data. So one of the things that I did personally for myself is that as soon as I got involved, every individual that walks through to my door everybody likes Wi-Fi. So what they do, I've connected my Facebook, so they have to open their Facebook up, and it allows me to basically monitor who's logging in automatically, capturing data, which then the information that I can use for my own marketing purposes. So automatically, when you get young people in, when you get children and adults in, they all want Wi-Fi. And as I'm very remotely located, I have a lot of kids, a lot of families. So they automatically log into their Facebook to access the Wi-Fi. I've captured that information. As soon as I've captured the information, all I have to do is, as my events come along, as what I'm doing, and send out various information to them. And more than likely, at least 1 out of every 10 people will turn up. So having an ecosystem, again, cuts out a lot of time. When I initially got involved, we used to do with pen and paper. Now we have iPads, so two of us individuals spontaneously can take down orders straight to the printer in the back of the kitchen, and it goes. Now it costs a bit more. Obviously, you have quite a few regulations that you comply by. But what I've realised is the fact that having it cuts out time, cuts out manpower. Because back in the days, historically, when you used to write down, you've got to go write it down and then put it into the kitchen. It cuts out all that straight printer, press print at the back. Someone at the back, for example, the gentleman, he said to me, mention my name. So my quality control guy, John, he's the first one who picks it up. He looks at the orders, taps it in. We have another system inside where it prints out all the labels. So automatically, as soon as the orders go out, he knows he just labels it.
10 seconds.
So he labels it up. So it cuts out a lot of manpower and time to make it more efficient. And touch wood, thankfully, it's getting there and it's brilliant. I enjoy it thoroughly. Getting entertaining my customers.
Time up, Adam. Thank you very much.
Thank you
and I like
for
the fact that you actually got your friend Johnson in there as well. Thanks for that. Thank
Cheers.
you. Well done. If I can now get our next contestant to come on stage, it's Uzul Hussain from Curry Pot in Norwich. He's just making his way to the stage.
Oh, this is bright.
It is bright, it is hot,
Yeah,
so do your best.
Yeah,
Good luck.
cool.
We're going to talk about your success story,
Sure.
embracing technology,
Yeah.
and you've got 120 seconds.
Okay.
And your time starts now.
Okay, I've started using technology because I've realized my dad started using the iPad. So I thought the consumer attention is the technology. With time, everyone has evolved. Like even my mom is using it. She doesn't have to speak English or even read Bengali properly, but she's able to flick through. So I thought, okay, can I implement technology within the curry industry? Because curry industry, one of the things was lacking is the technology. So what I've done, obviously, I've got my EPOS system, I've got my Facebook marketing, within the social media, I've got presence everywhere. That allowed me to bring consumer from the sector that I never sort of able to reach before. That allowed me to bring it within my business because this industry is very packed, jam-packed with so many competition. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, but
really well.
But yeah, so I mean, personally, the technology helped my business grow more because initially I went in the business. Within the first 6 months, I thought, okay, let me get in, make some quick money, and step out of it. But when I saw, I sort of embraced technology within the business that allowed me to grow my business further than I could ever imagine. So I thought, okay, I've got potential to grow even into other aspect of life, if you say. But yeah, mainly like obviously that allowed me to have less staff because I've reduced the staff cost. So I used to have like 2 people at the front. Now I only have 1 because the one person is able to handle everything because everything is very efficient because he's able to take order and then obviously accept the order online as well. And there's a lot of things like I'm able to collect data from the EPOS system, and then using the data, I could easily email market to the consumer. That allowed me to bring more customer on a regular basis rather than, so I would send an offer for say £5 deal on that. I'm done. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine, perfect.
Okay,
Yeah, finish
yeah.
straight on time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you finish. Finish.
Okay.
Finish your last
Yeah, so
sentence.
that allowed me to bring customers that would come, say, once a month. They came twice a month. So that sort of pushed them a little bit more. So, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. If we now can move on to our next contestant, I love the name. It's Shoreditch Fish and Chips in London. It's Jasmine Hussain. Jassim. Yeah, hi Jassim.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. So, same question applies to you. We've got 120 seconds on your success story, how you embrace technology in your business, and your time starts now.
Sure. So with technology, you've got a few things. It's like EPOS system, CCTV, PDQ, Google, TripAdvisor, Yelp, and Facebook and Instagram. First and foremost is the EPOS system. Because with the EPOS system, I'm just going to skip over the obvious matters. It's easier taking orders, it makes it faster, it's time efficient, so on and so forth. But what I really wanted to focus on is using the tools on the EPOS system to make your business more self-sufficient and efficient. Now, self-sufficient meaning the business should run with the owner there or not. That's what a business is. But if we're going to go in the route like the owner has to be in the shop, we're just shop owners or business owners. But the EPOS, the things that it has in the system, we should really use the tools for it. For example, it gives you like analytical data where it gives you like your peak times, what's your best selling items, what's your least selling items. Then you can accordingly order your stock. Also, each members of staff can have logins, so you can see who's your best sales staff. So accordingly, you can accommodate your rota according to that. So put your best salesperson on the till on that day, and the chef's cooking and the waitresses, but you can actually pick out who's your best salesperson. Also in the EPOS system, there's a tool where if you click a button, you can see the days taking. Now, I let my staff see that. Reason being is it actually motivates them, and I give them incentives and bonuses to say, guys, you hit the targets for this day, I'll give you a bonus. But it's not a bonus in the actual taking. I'll just slip a £10, £20, but it makes them happy, and they say, you know what, we have to hit the target, come on, guys. And they'll upsell more, like upsell, not con the customers, but when they buy one meal, they can buy a set meal where they, where they're going to spend £10, you can start they'll start spending £20. The other thing I mentioned was CCTV. A lot of people will say CCTV is just for security purposes, but nowadays it can be all mirrored onto your phone. You can actually zoom in. Almost fine.
Yep, no, I'll let you finish the sentence.
You can actually zoom in. It's all HD as well, so you can actually see customer reactions, how the flow of traffic is moving on the shop floor.
Thank you.
And then you can implement. Are we done?
Thank you very much. Time really flies.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot you packed into that. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. If I can move on to our next contestant, we have Tuhin Ahmed from the Lancer in Suffolk. Come on stage. Thank you. Unfortunately, today we've got two of our participants had to drop out at the last minute. But hey ho, you know what? You've got a better chance today. Fingers crossed. If the same question applies to you, we've got 120 seconds to talk about your success story and how you embrace technology. And your time starts now.
Yes, we're a small family-owned restaurant run in Newmarket. We've been open for 12 years now, and since then, like growing from stage year on year, we've seen technology change as well, and we've implemented it as we've gone along, as the technology has enhanced as well. So we've installed a new kitchen printer, so we go up and down the stairs, so it makes it easier for us and eliminates having less staff as well, and goes up and down the order, and you can send it much quicker. We have stock rotation and stock taking, as well as stock portions, so we control how much of each dish we give out, same as whether it's takeaway or whether it's dining in. The stock control and the stock inventory, we track that on our EPOS system and device, so we know how much stock we're coming in and is going out, or how much we have left as well. So that saves time and efficiency and money as well. We also do online order, which brings in many customers, and that saves time on having people to answer calls. We used to have two phones when we were a take-home restaurant, but now we just got one, so it makes it easier. And also, so we have online, and we're on the social media as well, so go follow us. And so, yeah.
We've still got 30 seconds. Yep.
Yeah, we also have. So we have printers downstairs as well.
Have you got anything in the back office or in the kitchen?
Yeah, in the kitchen. So we have deep fryers. We also have dishwasher as well. So it makes it easier because people used to wash by hand, or we have dough mixers as well. So makes it easier to maintain, and you just need one person also to just manage it, rather than people, which is more time consuming and just using your hands. So yeah, it's
fantastic, perfect. Yep, finished straight on time there. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's great. We've heard from all our contestants for today, and I think it's about time that we actually need to talk to some of our special judges. Obviously, special judges, you've heard a lot what they've said, and you've each got 10% of the vote. So I hope you've made loads of notes, and we can actually see. Obviously, if I can come up to Farhad Hussain, what are you expecting from the participants today?
Thank you, Mr. Malik. We heard from them, but everybody was talking about using technology, what benefit they are getting. We are living with technology. We have got a mobile phone. Everyone has got one, isn't it? So they talk about how bringing customers, increasing business. But most importantly, I want to know how they, cutting the cost, saving the staff, because at the moment shortage of staff, using technology in the kitchen and the front as well. But some of them, as mentioned, they use the rational, dishwasher, a lot of. But most of them, they're talking about the marketing tools. So I think the lots of things they have done. So
I think we've still got 2 more rounds, so obviously we can...
So we can hear from them.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
If I can ask the same, obviously, Mr. Barry, the same thing to you. What's your comment so far from what you've heard?
It's very encouraging to see young people and they're using technology, and by using technology they are benefiting actually. Technology is there to benefit yourself, and you need to know exactly how to use technology as well. I mean, for instance, restaurant oven, there are many ovens, conventional oven you can use and you can get benefit out of it. Then you need to know, you need to research how to use that technology for your advantage. So there are many things available.
Sure. And obviously next to you, Mr. Kamrul Zaman, same question to you. Obviously your comments so far from what you hear, because obviously you're from the IT security background. What are your thoughts?
I was just today I was talking to one of my clients about the digital world. Yeah. Everything will be digital. Kitchen, bathroom, roads, everything will be digital. I can see all these participant there. All of them are really good, and they all of them they talked about digital technology, post booking help, but no one talked about actually the security. It's a cyber security is very important.
Yeah.
And the core part of it, the technology is a training. Themselves, the owner, they need a training, as well as the other stuff.
Sure, brilliant. Okay.
Thank
Now,
you.
if I can hand it over to Mr. Sultan Babur, your comments so far from what you've heard from the contestants.
It's very good thing to see that all of them are very young, and they talk in a way it impresses everyone. They are in the forefront of the marketing. They're using the technology in a very impressive way. One of the things is not just the technology you're using. You've got to know how to optimize. Everybody is using technology, and you have to be very sharp on that, take full-fledged advantage of it. There wasn't anything on that side, on very sharp end. No one has ever thought of. There are a lot of things available. I think they should look at it.
Thank you. Thank you. If I can go to our mentors. Obviously, mentors, you've been in the hot seat before yourselves, so you know exactly how it feels there. From the participants so far, Kashim, what are your thoughts?
We do very much know how he feels.
It was hot there when you were...
It's tough.
It is tough.
The heat on these lights don't help either.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, these are youngsters. It's nerve-wracking when you're out there. They haven't been grilled yet, so obviously there's more to come. So they need to prepare for that.
Sure.
But I think so far they've done extremely well. They've kept their nerve. They're still standing.
That's the important thing.
That's the important thing.
As they say, last man standing.
Last man standing. But yeah, they're all doing very, very well. And
Fantastic.
I think they just need to keep at it.
Sure. And Sammy, obviously, your thoughts so far from what you've heard?
Yeah, no, I think it was very... obviously, I've been there before, so I know the nerves that got to them in the beginning, I could tell.
Mm-hmm.
I felt for them, sympathetic. But I'd say just keep going. Try and get your points across. Be specific in your answers. And actually explain the how it helps, rather than what technology you're using is how it's changed your business.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Obviously, we've heard from our mentors and we've heard from our special judges. Participants, definitely, I would definitely encourage you to take note, because obviously, very, very soon, we're going to find out what's going to happen. If I can go over to our panel judges. Judges, if I can go over to Graham first. Graham, obviously, you've heard from the participants so far and their stories. Is there any advice or tips you can give?
I think it's about how they're then going to turn the success of attracting customers into delivering food from the kitchen, how they can speed up the operation to meet the requirements and requests from the customers. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to understanding how they're going to use that technology and take it into the kitchen to not only help attract chefs, but obviously introduce consistency to the catering operation as well.
So obviously, rather than just looking at IT technology in front of house, we'd like to see more emphasis in the kitchen, or how... I think some of the participants, someone's mentioned about a dough mixer and other ways of...
If the guys are seeing success from connectivity front of house, then they need to carry that over into the back of house. And I think, as my colleague said over there, as we move forward, technology will be massive in the catering kitchens moving forward.
Sure, brilliant. Thank you very much, Graham. Graham, if I go over to Abdul Haq, obviously, what are your thoughts? Well, you're an IT man yourself, so obviously you've been here, you've done it.
I know. I mean, there are so many
tips?
technologies out there for a restaurant. I think they've done well in 2 minutes, try to cover most of it. Not enough back of office stuff or back of house technologies. I know they mentioned about modern kitchen stuff and dishwasher and so on, but a bit more of those we are expecting. But most important is the word how, Sami Bhai mentioned, is how they use it. I know they use X, Y, Z, but how they use it and how they're saving cost. And and also we have a big staff crisis, and the solution would be, they had 5 people, they implemented this technology, and they saved 2 people, hence I'm saving 30 or 40 grand a year. That kind of figures and things I'm expecting on the next round.
Obviously, technology is about a long-term investment. Obviously, the capital to actually invest costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the return is long-term. So I think that's something
it's about, the thing is, you've got to invest. When you open a restaurant, you're spending from 100K to $1 million or more money, $500,000, 200K, that kind of range. So investing on a small technology, few grand, but you're getting over the long time a good return. And nowadays, most companies offer finance. So if you can pay your staff wages, I'm sure you can invest in the right technology and pay weekly or monthly for expensive technology as well.
Brilliant, thank you. And obviously, last but not least,
it's good to know that young people are using modern technologies. I was happy to see that they're all talking about the restaurants using technology at the front as well as in the kitchen, but it needs to be done more in the kitchen, I believe, and also training, I think, is very important. Training both the front staff and the when you reduce the number of staff at the front by using technologies, modern technologies, you've got to bear in mind how many do you reduce, because service matters.
Yes, definitely.
So you have to keep an eye on the cost saving as well as service as well, So that is an important factor. Reduce staff to save cost, but
quality is going to be maintained.
Quality has to be there.
Definitely.
I think so.
Wise words. Very, very, very wise words. I think we've actually heard from all our judges and the mentors and our panel judges, and I think that you've also been busy trying to give some scores to all these guys, but we're actually going to take a break, and after the break, you'll get the results from round 1. Welcome back after the break, and we've got some good news. We've actually got the results have come in from both our panel judges and our special judges, and it's in my little iPad here I've got. So if I press the button, let's find out what the results are from round 1. We have Basil Spice with 86% of the votes, followed by Shoreditch Fish and Chips with 82, the Lancer with 70, then we've got Indian Ocean with 68, and we've got a tie for last, which is Curry Pot and Lal Bagh, both with 62. As we've got a tie, Graham, I need you to be my lovely Debbie McGee for the moment. Yep, and if I could ask both participants from Lal Bagh and Curry Pot kindly to come on stage, and obviously we'll get you guys to actually take one of the cards from Graham. The highest number will go through to the next round. Unfortunately, it is potluck, so anybody can win. So if I can ask the guys to come on stage, that'd be great. Yep, both Lal Bagh and from Curry Pots. You've all done fantastically well, but unfortunately it's a tie for you guys. So I need both of you guys just come in front. There's four cards there, okay. Right? And you got to pick one card each, and whoever's card is the highest score goes through. So it's potluck. Good luck. Right, if you turn it over, let's have a look. Number unfortunately, is that a 9 or a 6? I can't.
6.
That's a 6. So obviously you go through to the next round. Congratulations. You go through.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done. You've done fantastic. Well done. Congratulations. Brilliant. Yep. So we know who our contestants are for round 2, which will be based on marketing and embracing using new technologies. So let's go on to round 2. Round 2, here we go. Guys, we already know, panel judges, you've got 60% of the votes. You've done really, really well. And I think we just eliminated one person. Unfortunately, that's just bad luck. But I think they've all done really, really well. I would definitely ask you to make note and take some observations because there'll be a time for you to ask some questions. If I can now ask our contestants to come on stage. Our first contestant, please. It's Indian Ocean, Mr. Ruhul Haq. That'd be great, thank you. Hi, Rahul, you're back on stage. Yep,
Thank you.
Ready? Yep. So we're in round 2, and we've got 120 seconds, and we're going to talk about how we use marketing in using with technologies. And our time starts now.
I've invested heavily on e-commerce dynamic website, which you can place your order online using my own app through DineNet. And I also use the social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and online booking system, so that gathers customer data, so we can target promotions and building customer loyalty. And we also have an online payment system. So when you're placing the order, you can also pay.
10 seconds.
And it's very fast. You just go through the EPOS and then straight to the kitchen, plus saving time and money.
Brilliant, that's great. Thank you very much. Yep,
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. If I can get our next contestant to come on stage, it's Adam Hussain from Basil Spice. Hi Adam, we're all back on stage. We're going to talk about marketing. I think you covered some of those issues in round 1. Cool. Obviously, if you want to emphasise a little bit more. And we've got 60 seconds this time, so get as much as you can inside, and your time starts now.
Thank you. So a lot of these digital marketing companies charge your arm and a leg. So I thought, as the best way to get somebody that can keep it cost efficiently and do so, I found a teenager, 18 years old, loves the social media. So the first thing I did is employed her to get on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then she update. My response time on Facebook is like 30 minutes, literally. So if anybody puts in a question, what I also started realising is that when people come in and you've got Instagram, Facebook, and 15th of July, I actually launched my YouTube channel. So what happens when people like to see what they're basically eating? And if I do a live video and a live shot, then it makes it more appealing, more appetizing. And those individuals a bit wary and apprehensive, it gives them the confidence to come in and see at least what they're eating, because it's already been video shot of, for example, recently we did a gulab jamun, direct gulab jamun, and the fact that whole week, everybody, I said 3 gulab jamun come in. And the response that whole week was busy. Everybody came in 3 gulab. So it's something very minute. But the fact that you showed that individual that, hold on, we're making this how we do it, come and enjoy yourselves, it's appealing. And then the environment that I create. Now, with search engines and
Time up,
Google,
Adam.
it's fabulous. But carry on. Thank you.
Yep, that's brilliant. If you gave me some gulab jam next time, maybe I might be able to help you there.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks, Adam. Yep. If I can get our next contestant on stage, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, we almost, that was a tight call, wasn't it, that last round for you?
Oh, that was very, very close.
Yeah,
So hopefully I'll do better this time.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Same question applies to you.
Yeah,
You've
sure.
got 60 seconds to talk about marketing and how you use it in your business.
Yeah, so
time starts now.
So I use a lot of Facebook marketing, Instagram, and Twitter, because I've realized, like I said in the previous round, all the attention is on those social media platforms, because the younger generation, the older generation, all using Facebook, and that is able to, that allowed me to sort of communicate differently. Obviously, I would get email, Facebook message saying that the food was fantastic. I could use that, extract that, use that as a review, and let the audience know through all platforms. In this way, what happens is everyone looking at the review system thinking, oh, that's a great thing, because these guys are obviously looking after the customer the way they should be looking after the customers. And obviously, I've got the team who's looking after the SEO, search engines, where they're able to obviously get the ranking up. So someone who's coming from a different place, they can search curry pot, and then obviously we'll be at the top of the result. So we'd get additional customer without us doing a lot of the chasing, because technology allows us to get the customer that we... That was
Brilliant.
quick.
Thank you very much. That's,
Sorry,
that's okay. Yeah. But if you want to finish your sentence, yeah.
Oh no, yeah. So that basically we would generate extra 5% customer that we would never get just through those little digital platforms. So
brilliant. Thank you. Right. If I can get our next contestant to come on stage, it's Shoreditch Fish and Chips to come on stage.
Hello again.
Hi, hello again. How are you doing?
Good.
Feeling more comfortable?
Getting used to the heat now.
Jasim Hussain, yep, that's grand. The same question applies, it goes again. You've got 60 seconds and your time starts now.
First and foremost, got to start off with Google. Google reviews, that will drive customers in. With Google, it's best to respond to the customer reviews that you get, whether it's positive or negative. Also on Google, you can actually do a virtual tour of your shop. That's why it's important to invest heavily nicely on design. Make sure the shop is nice and clean, the customers can actually see, and they can plan to come to your shop. Also with Google, you've got TripAdvisor, which is mostly aimed at tourists, so join onto the reviews with them. Wi-Fi, make your shop a Wi-Fi hotspot, so customers will come in and use that, but you've got to be clever with it. Don't let them use it unlimited. Maybe for the first 15-20 minutes while the food is being prepared. After the food's done, it should have a cut-off point. And then you've got Facebook and Instagram, goes without saying again. Facebook and Instagram, huge platform. One click, hundreds of people see it, whereas people used to spend money on advertisement before. Now it's practically free. But it's good to use like people with Instagram influencers, food bloggers, things like that, and you can actually do videos of your food being prepped. Like, so if you have modern appliances, which I didn't have time to mention,
thank you.
We have stainless steel appliances and potato peelers and chippers, and people can see that and see it's freshly made.
Thank you. Time's up.
And videos, it's like TV advert on Channel West.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. I like that. That was cheeky. I like that. That was good. Thank you. Thank you. If we got our last contestant for this round, we've got the Lancer Dohin Ahmed from Suffolk. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm well, alhamdulillah.
Good. Okay, we've got 60 seconds and your time starts now.
Yeah, so social media is a huge thing. So we're on the big platforms such as Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and Google as well. We're ranked number 1 on the Google search when you type in our restaurant name. We're also on Restaurant Guru and TripAdvisor. We have the widget for the web page for that as well. And obviously in the UK there's about just over 7,500 people using OpenTable, which we are considering as well to implement that in our restaurant, so bringing in diners. We also have Wi-Fi, so people could snap and take pictures instantly on their mainly smartphone, where everyone uses nowadays, and it's available with their fingertips, and you can share it with 1,000 people, and it's huge, great, really good free tool to use, and it's good for word of mouth and spreads really easily and quickly. And we also have online ordering as well. People will be able to share and everything as well.
You finished just on time as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. We've heard from our contestants. I think it's time to go over to our special judges. Special judges, obviously, we've heard from our contestants in this round. If I can go to Sultan, what are your thoughts from what you've heard, how they market their business using technology in this round?
Yes, technology is there. There are a lot of things they can do to use it and to use it very efficiently. And well, as I said, they are using it. There's no doubt about it, but they are not cutting edge. One of them said about in last episode that he's capturing the mobile Wi-Fi signal and
yeah,
all
he did
this.
mention
That's
from Basil Spice. Yeah, I think
one of those cutting edge thing, which is I have given very good marks. So everything is you have to look at your competitors and think about it, how you can stay ahead of the game. This is the main thing. I think these are normal games, what they are using. Everybody is using that. Yeah. And to be ahead of that, you have to look at what else you can do, what else you can add to that.
Very valuable point, very valuable. If I can go over to Barry Bay, same similar, what are your thoughts from what you've heard from our participants so far?
Yeah, very good. One person mentioned that he's using one 18 years old for his marketing purposes. I think it's a very good idea, because if you go to a professional, it costs a lot of money, and that's why many restaurateurs just they're not using Facebook marketing opportunity that much. So I think once people start using it, and maybe they can start using amateur or students, they're looking for one photographer, maybe just starting his career, they can use them. Sure. It's good for him as well, and it's good for restaurateur to start marketing. And once you have good video, good the product, it's just a matter of uploading it.
Also
many people can do it. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It can be done cheaply, and it can be done professionally as well. So it's depends how you want to do it. But once you start doing it, I think you'll know how to use it.
Thank you very much. If I can go over to this side, so. To Graham, obviously you've heard from around two, it's looking more at marketing, how they actually use, the technology for marketing. What are your thoughts, what comments do you have so far?
Yeah, I mean, modern technology and the information the guys are talking about, but as a user, maybe attach some incentives to it with regards to how I can get some, maybe an extra pudding, an extra side dish maybe if I'm launching on Facebook or something like that. So, yeah, the guys are very good, and I think it is definitely for the young millennials and who are using the technology. I
think you're right, it's important. Obviously, they're using technology to embrace with the customer, understand the customer more.
Yeah, I think that's the way that, and obviously the client base, the older generation, are beginning to get into it, and everybody out there now is understanding that technology is the way forward, and we all have to grab it and move forward with it, because it's going to race ahead in front of us.
Very well said. If I can go over to Mr. Kamal Yaqub, your thoughts from what you've heard from our participants so far.
Yes, I think they're all trying to do well and using modern technology. I think a good suggestion would be to use a loyalty card for customers, which brings back a lot of, I have tried that, brings back a lot of customers, the same customers, but more, they visit you more. And about Wi-Fi, it's everywhere. You cannot put a limit to it. I would ask him not to put a limit, a cut-off time. Everywhere you go, you can use continuously. And I think they're using the right tools like Google, the social media, TripAdvisor, everything. I think it's good for their business. This is good marketing and branding, of course, together.
Definitely, definitely. If I can go over to Abdul Haq, obviously you're from the IT world. Obviously what you've heard a lot of. Is there anything else you could add? Anything they've missed?
I mean, they've covered social media quite well: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Google, and all that. But we were expecting a bit more normal marketing, like collecting the data, sending emails with kind of offers, and a bit more clever marketing, because you can send a post to Facebook. And if it's not clever enough, if it's not attractive enough, then and if there isn't an offer or an incentive or something like that, it just doesn't work. It just dies out because everyone's sending similar kind of postage. So I'm looking for a bit more creative kind of marketing, and how their saving costs maybe can compare with, I used to spend X amount doing leafleting, and now I think it's waste of time. I do emailing, or I do, send SMS, or even now WhatsApp marketing is quite popular now as well. So, a bit more creative ideas I was looking for.
I think really just to emphasise more to stand out from the crowd.
That's right. I mean, this project is all about, or program is about solution driven. So we're looking for, something you've done that works for you, or it worked and, you benefited in terms of cost saving and getting new customers and increasing your revenue, that kind of thing I was expecting.
Sure.
Wasn't fully covered, but I'm expecting on round 3 that area to be covered.
Let's see what happens. Mentors, obviously we've heard from all the judges. We've heard a lot from round 2. Is there anything they've missed, or anything they could touch on? Do you feel?
Well, first of all, I think they're growing in confidence. You can see that. But yes, they are missing a lot of things. They need to stick.
Share with us, please do share with us.
Well, if we go back and look at digital menu, things like registering with dining apps. Now, are they using Open Table and many other platforms like this? So they could have
generate more.
Yeah, absolutely, to generate more bookings, online bookings. Well, I think with these guys, youngsters, and the future competitors that come on, need to understand that they are the face of their business. So the appearance matters, unfortunately. The character, how they conduct themselves, all matters. So they need to take those things into consideration.
Sure, brilliant. And Sammy, obviously, obviously you're mentoring a couple of these guys yourself.
Yeah.
Is there anything you feel that they've missed, or
No, I think I focus on the positives, which a couple of them used. Said, I think it was the curry pot said about the influencers. That's huge. Try and get food bloggers, vloggers in. Another person mentioned around about his YouTube channel. I think that is cutting edge. I think our colleague, one of the judges here, said it. That is cutting edge. Something even I haven't done or thought of. So they're the positives. I mean, obviously they have missed a few things. I think the nerves get the better of them. I've been there myself, so I feel that pain. They're probably in that room now thinking I should have said this. But I think there's some golden nuggets in there that we can take from it, especially for a lot for the industry, which can learn from it as well. Viewers.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll come back to you guys in a second. The results have come in, and they're in my hand. And let's find out who goes through to round 3. The results are in, and we have Basil Spice, yet again, 94% of the vote. Shoreditch Fish and Chips with 84. The Lancer with 74. Curry Pot with 70, very tight. And Indian Ocean with 64. Unfortunately, we're going to have to lose Indian Ocean in this round. So we know who are 4 that are going through. And well done to everybody so far, but we're going to lose Indian Ocean. It's just one of those things. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, but there's always round 3, which is going to be looking at savings and profit. So let's move on and go on to round 3. It's the last round, and it's very tight so far. We know what the scores are, so anybody could win this next round. And judges, I know you've all been busy writing away. I can see lots of paper, lots of scribbles going on there. Yeah. That's a good sign. Also, as you know, you've got 20% each, so make sure you make notes. And we don't know who's going to win so far. Same thing with you guys on this side, special judges. You've all got 10%. I know everyone's been making notes, so fingers crossed. And obviously the mentors, they're your guys. Hopefully you've mentored them well, and let's see who wins. Fingers crossed. So good luck to all of you. Let's start round 3 with our first contestant. I think they're on the way. Basil Spice. Adam, you're back on stage.
Evening.
Evening. Well, it's getting a late evening, and I think everyone's getting hungry. We've got 60 seconds, and this round is going to be looking at cost saving and revenue increase, and your time starts now.
So what I try to do is I try to utilise people that enjoy what they do, most importantly. Example, using somebody that enjoys social media, using them, implementing them to do that part of work cuts out a lot of costs for me by minus out big companies. Secondly, having an ecosystem around cuts out a lot of other willy-nilly getting people. For example, on our ecosystem, I could do stock take, I could whatever comes in to get scanned in, and then I can know what's being sold, and then overbuy and over purchasing. Otherwise, you'd have stock that lasts you a whole month. I'd rather have stock for 2 weeks and get rid of it, and then knowing that my stock is efficiently being ordered. Otherwise, sometimes you have stock and you think, well, you don't know what to do with it. Secondly, I always run loyalty schemes in our restaurant, where if you come in, you eat four times, and the 5th time you get 50% off. Now, obviously, there's catches to it because I've got terms and conditions, very strict terms and conditions. But what it encourages is people to do, and I mainly aim at young people and families, because I've got a vast amount of space. I think, where do parents go? A lot of restaurants don't like children. Me, your children are number one. Come in, and I have a kids area. They have toys, and what it does, it allows parents to come in, sit back and relax. Children to, and they get fascinated. Sometimes when I run promotional offers, I actually make children on the floor, put them out, do little market incentives where kids make their own chapatis, and then I put it in tandoori.
Thank you, Adam.
And it works because then parents get fascinated.
Brilliant. Adam, I'll definitely bring my children to your place. If they're making chapatis, I'll be even more than happy. Thank you very much, Adam.
Enjoy.
If we can move on to our next contestant, we've got Ujjal Hussain from Curry Pot, please. Thank you. Come on stage. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Good. Ooh, that was a deep breath you took there.
Our third round, I don't know how I
It's
got
the
there,
last
but-
round, it's the winning round, fingers crossed.
Yeah, cool.
We've got 60 seconds to talk about revenue increase and cost saving, and your time starts now.
Yeah, sure. So like I said, the EPOS is quite fundamental in our takeaway, because I run a takeaway. And that allowed me to reduce, like I said, one guy at the front, because my chef can use the EPOS system now, because I've showed him once, and then he doesn't need to know English. He doesn't actually speak English or know English, but he can see the symbols, and he's easily able to take the orders and decline it if he needs to. So that's one of the way I've reduced one of the stuff, save a little bit of cost. It's not much. If I can save £30 a week, that's a lot of money for a small business. And I've managed to increase revenue by, like I said, doing a lot of the social media. Like basically, one of the things I do, I extract the emails from the orders I get from the ecosystem. I will send email promotion offer. In that way, I'll get the return, and then I'll be able to sort of analyze them in a way so that, like I'll get repeat customers. Another thing I usually do, I will look at the order history and see which order actually comes more efficiently. And then what I've done, I've reduced some of the dishes that I never used to sell.
I'll let you finish that last sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, never used to sell, so I've reduced them. It's wasting money, wasting my energy. Therefore, I've just cut down and then made it a bit more efficient. So.
Thank you. Thank you. If we can get on stage now, Jassim Hussain from Shoreditch Fish and Chips, for his last round. Hi, Jassim, how are we doing?
Good.
Good, yeah. Last round.
Yeah, sure.
Best of luck, go for it. And we've got 60 seconds to talk about revenue increase and cost saving. And your time starts now.
I'm going to mention it once again, is the EPOS system, because it will give you your most selling items and least selling items, and you can order your stock accordingly. If you do order stock, online ordering is a big thing, because you actually get things cheaper. With delivery, sometimes they just add on £1, but if you do it online, you'll see it's much cheaper. Also, cutting costs is invest heavily on your appliances. Try and buy branded and modern, because you'll get warranty with it. Things like stainless steel, it doesn't seem much, but when they come to cleaning, you'll see it's done quicker, less staff members needed to clean, so on and so forth. With PDQ machines, I mentioned in the first round, just want to quickly touch up on it, is you can actually compare the rates that you get on which cards. So sometimes it's good to have two terminals, because sometimes people give Amex, it's 1.9%, which is quite a high rate. You can try and avoid and say, look, pay on this one with a Visa card or something. And the system I was talking about has a little screen, records all the receipts and everything on there, and you can actually cross-reference the rates and then find a better deal.
Perfect. Wow, you finished that spot on.
Okay.
Thanks, Justin. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yep. Let's now, I think we've had all our participants go on stage. We've got one more person. We've got Tohin Ahmed from the Lancer in Suffolk. It's the last round, fingers crossed. Do your best, do what you do. And we've got 60 seconds and your time starts now.
Yes, we use EPOS as well as our Clover machine, so it sends out, send out data, how we store it, and SMS to our customers. And as well as our online ordering system platform. We use that to offer incentives to our customers, such as 10%, or like every 3 times you order, you get a free main course. We also do that with our eating in as well, and on our menu, and attracts broader customers. So it does increase sale in long term. We also do. So online ordering, people do come in and SMS, so we comply that with the FDR, the GDPR data, so that we don't store the customer's details. When we do, we ask their permission first before storing their data, and use it in the safest way. And
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've heard from all our contestants, and I think it's about time we actually got our judges to ask some questions to participants. If I can ask all the participants to come back on stage. Yep. And that'd be fantastic. And obviously we've heard a lot, also special judges, I'll come to you as well. If there's anything you want to ask our participants, I think that there's some very useful points made there. So obviously we need to find out. If I can get all the participants to come on stage, that'd be really, really good. Thank you very much. And judges, you've heard, and it's quite tight, and obviously there's been a lot of repeats, but at the same time, it's about focusing actually on the actual topic itself. And you've got 60% of the votes, so you've got a big handful, a big lead there. At the same time, you special judges here, you've got 10% each. So without your thoughts and your input, we don't know. It could be any one of these four guys going through. So good luck, best of luck to all four of you. If I can first go over to Graham. Is there one question you'd like to ask one of the participants in particular?
I'd like to ask all of them a question. Maybe they can just give me a one-word answer. What's the most modern technological piece of equipment you currently have in operation in your kitchen?
The frying range, which is we bought custom made. It's your main thing, and it has warranty on it. So if anything goes down, they have to come within 2 hours. So we're covered in that sense because that is your main asset, along with your whole staff and team, and they all know how to operate the whole range, and it's massive, and it's the most valuable asset we have.
Okay. In particular, guys, think about how you're going to save labour, return on investment, energy, even food costs as well.
So,
Basil?
the most important in my kitchen is my dough machine, which costs me an arm and a leg. But the efficiency and how quick you get the fresh doughs out is very good, and people love the naan bread. So naan is one, and everybody orders naan. Very rarely I have an order that has no naan. So I realised by making fresh dough, to make it everything fresh, you've got to do it. So I do it on the spot instantly. So when they come in at 3 o'clock, dough's made then every day. So there's no such thing as pre-prep make dough the day before and serving it the following day. And by spending that money, I've realised the rewards have come through.
Thank you.
So can you ask me the question again? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, what's the most technological piece of equipment that you've purchased in the kitchen, and how is that delivered?
Technology or machine?
Machine that's delivered savings in energy and labour and food costs for you.
I mean, what I've in our kitchen, we sort of designed sorry, should I go there? So in our kitchen, we sort of taken the McDonald's model and created this layout that we never had. So everything is efficient. So we have like a hot plate to like a cookers, everything in a close by, so everyone knows their position. Therefore, they're able to serve in an efficient way. We haven't obviously invested in modern a lot of the machinery in a way, but the infrastructure, we changed it so everything go out efficiently and then to the customer as best as possible. So that's
thank you.
Yes. Same question applies to you.
Yeah, so same with us as well. We're Indian restaurants, so we have to make the dough as well. So we have a dough mixer, so and hand in hand reduces staff and it's less time consuming as well, and that cuts out the people and the cost. But at the same time, it saves costs because you have the machine and that does it double faster without the hand itself. And training is easy, and it's just one person you need to use it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Same question, obviously, to Abdul Haq. Is there anything you want to ask one of the participants? One of them.
One, is it?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask. So, I think I want to touch on how you're using the technology in your business to increase revenue. What kind of techniques you guys are using?
Me first.
Get more customers, make more money, GP and that kind of thing, I'm expecting.
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, Google is one of the biggest platforms because via that, if you upload images and videos, and you can actually take them into the shop where the preps are happening, which they generally can't do. Also, one of the things we don't have time to mention is using apps like OpenTable. There's also another app for food waste where at the end of the day, anything you have left over can be discounted onto the app, and then customers buy it from that. So you're saving, you're like reducing waste and increasing revenue at the same time. That's one of the main ways.
For myself, I use data capture. Obviously, Google's an online platform and SEOs and have digital marketing, but data capture is those individuals that walk into my restaurant. That allows me to filter out who's who wants what, and then when I'm targeting a market audience, I can just filter it out and say I want 18 to 24-year-olds, and then send them for example, I'm having a party night, which is genuine. I'm having a garage night. I send out one marketing shot and I've got 150 people registered straight away for that night. But it affects it. The only way it works is when people come in to use the Wi-Fi, the only way they have to use Wi-Fi is by downloading their Facebook. It allows me to capture who they are, what they do, what they don't do, what they like, and it allows me to carry on and then mass market them.
What I do is very similar to what the gentleman said, is basically data capturing. So I will use a lot of the advertising on Facebook, pay per click. So what that will do, that will allow me to bring customer from Facebook to my platform, where I can literally send out messages to directly let the customer know there's an offer going on, there's a different types of food, and that also allowed me, this technology allowed me to cut savings on like certain products, like sorry, I'm just like, okay. Yeah.
Thank you. If I can go over to our special judges, I'm sorry. If I no, carry on. No. You've got 20 seconds, very quickly. Got 20 seconds.
So technology has been efficient to us. So in terms of like, we've been able to reduce our portion size, so there's less wastage as well, and offering incentives, so we know what customers ordered before, so they'll know what they had, so we could market towards what they like and what they order next time as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. If I can very quickly go over to our special judges, to Farhad Hussain Tipu. 20 seconds to ask a very specific question.
Basically, technology made our life very easy. So I just want to know, using technology, how you save the staff shortage. My question to all of you: how you save the staff shortage? At present, as you know, lots of staff shortage in our kitchen. So, can you just tell me a solution using technology, how you save the staff?
Okay, so when you say saving staff, is making staff more efficient? Are you interested? So in my place,
shortage of staff. So instead of more staff shortage, short staff, or less staff.
Okay.
How using technology, how you saving your
how I think what Tipu's directing is how you actually save, how you're looking at efficiency in terms of
I'll use our dough machine for example. I used to watch the boys make dough. It would take about 2 hours mixing it about and trying to keep it all clean. By investing in that little machine, it takes 25 minutes, and they put the ingredients in, and you could do it in 25 minutes. So that saves 2 hours of that person's time to concentrate on 25 minutes on buying this machine, and it's fresh. They don't have to do it the previous day. They could do it on the spot if it's running short of dough. 25 minutes is better than 2 hours. So in that sense, and I train every individual in my restaurant to multitask, so it has to know somebody else's job. So just in case someone ever calls in sick, someone else can step in.
It helps, yeah.
It helps.
Sure,
and
thanks,
everything
Adam.
is written down.
Thank you, Adam. If I can go over to Abdul Bari, is there a question that you'd like to ask one of the participants? Yeah, we've got 20 seconds.
You collect a lot of data. Everybody's collecting data. But
who are you directing the question to?
Everyone. So do you use actual data to see what is your profit margin for which dish? I mean, some dishes we sell, there's, let's say meat, for example. Meat is very costly if you compare it to chicken. So do you actually see yourself, okay, that dish cost me that much and that other dish cost me that much. So which is your best-selling dish and how much is actually costing you?
Yeah, so
if I give you guys just 15 seconds to answer that question,
I use Purple Life on my software, and the good thing about them is the data collection. Every individual item that's ordered, they monitor it automatically. So I know how many chicken tikka masalas I sell in a day. So ideally, on a Saturday night, if it's a busy night, I could get the staff to pre-prep already, say 20 chicken tikka masalas coming in at 5 o'clock. We'll know automatically. So it's filtered down. So we know in the evening how many chicken tikka masalas, how many tandoori dishes, how many grilled dishes we've sold. All I've got to do is work towards it.
My question was to sort of determine the price of the menu, like how much I should sell chicken tikka and how much is my profit, right? Just to determine that. Do you know what is your actual cost of that dish? Do you try to work out that?
I try to work to a 70% margin. So that my cost is 30% and 70% is my profit.
Sure. I mean, obviously, if we can move on, if I can ask Kamal Zaman, if there's one question that you can specifically ask, just one person, please.
Sure.
Yeah. Who would you like to ask?
I will ask Adam Hussain. Well, all these participants, they were talking about customer data. I mean, what do you do for customer data protection, for example, GPDR and all these kind of things?
Okay. So when you sign into my Wi-Fi, it gives you a disclaimer that we'll be using yourselves for marketing purposes. If you opt out of it, you can tick and say, I don't want to receive no marketing. That allows me to filter out who wants what. Because a lot of the individuals, what I've realised in my business, as I'm in a very secluded area and it's an industrial unit, I think, Adam, sorry,
I think the question was directed to how you actually save money and increase revenue. So it's cost saving. Yeah.
It's data protection. So data protection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but we need to be more specific with the question. So it's actually relating to cost saving and revenue increase.
Yeah, I mean you can cover cost saving
using technology.
as well,
Yeah,
the same thing. Yeah.
So having when you process data is obviously on the GDPR, especially as the gentleman mentioned, is very important that when you're on the disclaimer when they sign in on my Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi.
I need to stop with this. Sorry, Adam. We're actually going to go on a break now. Unfortunately, we've got a break coming up, so we will continue after break. Don't go away. Welcome back after the break, and I think we've heard a lot from our contestants today, and I think there's still time to grill them a little bit more. So if I can go over to Kamal Yaqub, is there a specific question you would like to ask one of the participants?
Yes. We used to face a lot of difficulty in the kitchen staff, with the kitchen staff, you know, because of the hierarchy. It's very I mean, it's easy to, if you have appliances, it's easy to get rid of perhaps a kitchen porter. As long as all the, if you had 4, as long as all the, or you may have 5, 6, many more, as long as the others all participate in every work, cleaning the, do they do that? Do you find that difficult still?
What I try mainly do is training and motivating, giving staff incentives as well. But one of the main things is, like with the EPOS system and all the modern appliances we have, it's easy to use. So everyone knows what to do. So if one person is an influx, like example, I said the salesperson who does the good sales and uses the EPOS system mainly. The second person who's in, he can use that as well, and they all cover each other's roles. And I always believe in leading by example. Like when I go in the shop, I'll help them clean, because then the chefs will see, oh, the boss even cleans. So then they will get in cleaning as well. And like I said, the kitchen porter jobs, as long as everyone covers it, staff shouldn't come into question.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
If you can achieve that, it's good.
Thank you.
Do you want to direct the question to one of the participants?
Yes, do keeping the dough machines. You can't get rid of the tandoori chef, can you?
No, you can't. But however, you can reduce some of the stuff, like you mentioned, like maybe the kitchen porter. So what I've been doing recently is getting like chopped garlic, even onions. You can buy them as well in a bag, cycle bag. So that reduces the need of you having a kitchen porter, which is sometimes, you know, you don't need it, you know, so everyone's working around the kitchen, helping each other. And if you have, like, for example, garlic, there's a lot of things in the kitchen. It's very time consuming, you know, chopping the onions. You can buy a machine. We have one small machine. You can, for onion salad, for example, we chop the onions and then it's easy to pack afterwards. So that reduces a few stuff that we would usually have, but we don't
you need potato peelers and onion peelers as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So slowly we're investing in those little machines to help us reduce the staff for each. Like you said, we're going to have a lot of crises, so shrinking it down.
It's actually difficult having less number of staff in the kitchen. It's easier at the front, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm sure you all and it's a bit more difficult to train the kitchen people. Than the front staff.
Also, what I've been doing recently as well, we actually have one less staff, so we're doing a bit more handy cooking as well. So we know exactly, like I said, using the EPOS system, tracking how many chicken tikka masala we're going to sell, like weekend. So we have we sell about 30 of them. So we'll cook in handy, we'll pre-prepare them. Our busy time is 2 hours, and we realize the curry remains fine up to 4 hours. So we managed to pre-cook some of the dishes, whereas you'd be cooking it all day. It's just waste of time and obviously, stuff.
Good, that's good.
Do you want to come forward? Yeah, come forward to the mic.
Yes, so we alleviate using the kitchen porter, so we have a dishwasher instead, and so it does the same job. So anyone could use it, whether it's chef or whether it's a busy period or not. Anyone could just go in and just clean afterwards and prep, and easy to train them on as well. Same with dough. Obviously, with the dough, it does save time and money, but you still have to have the tandoori chef, but it doesn't make things go the process a lot faster. So modern technology, yeah.
Modern appliances do help, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's hear from our mentors. Kashim, is there anything you would like to ask one of the participants in particular?
I think if Jassim,
Yes.
could you just quickly explain how you've cut cost, which has had a direct impact on increasing your revenue?
So cutting costs, portion control is one big thing because we use potatoes mainly. So we use the potato chippers and peelers. So modern appliances, they're actually more efficient. With the range we've bought as well, the frying range, which is custom made, it's eco-friendly, it's more efficient, uses less gas, electric. So energy efficiency, so you get less gas bill. Portion control, meaning you can buy scoops which are measured, so we use that as well. So each portion, whoever serves, we're giving at the same regular or the same large. Other cutting costs, like I said, online ordering, mainly using the modern appliances, like I said, with the potato peelers. If you buy good machines, and when they do break down, you have cover and warranty and everything.
Brilliant. If I can move on to Sammy, is there a question that you'd like to ask one of the participants that relates to revenue increase or cost saving?
Yeah, so I want to ask Tuhin, can you name me, like similar to Kashanbhai here, one particular technological advancement that you've done in your restaurant that's directly impacted your cost in a positive manner?
Impacted cost? Sorry. So mainly our kitchen printer, because ideally we have a two-step restaurant, so that kitchen printer and downstairs printer helps saving people from going up and down the stairs, and so it reduces so when people do order online, they could just send it through that as well, and whether they're sitting in that comes through, so it saves in the long term. It saves money, so you don't have to keep another staff or someone from going up and down the stairs, and it's good on quality control as well. Ensuring from people from upstairs, they'll know what's on the order, and that person could bring it down, so they don't have to go twice up and down stairs.
Sure, brilliant. Thank you very much. If I can go over to Sultan Babur, is there a question that you'd like to ask specifically to one of the contestants?
Yeah, I'll say, without offense, Mr. Adam Hussain of Basil Spice. You look like attracting or looking at very young customers, probably. In business administration, there is a term called segmentation. Is what sort of age limit you are targeting? What sort of people you are targeting? What sort of customer you are targeting? That's probably segmentation.
Okay. So basically, what I've realised in this industry, the target market for 45 to 60-year-olds are regulars. Now, how do I convince an 18-year-old that has got no social interaction with any other individual being in a very 95% white community, and for him to come in? So what do I do to propose him to come in to eat? Because he's apprehensive, he's not used to an Indian. So my target clients are usually 18 on to about 25, 30. The reason why is that olders are going to eventually, the most guaranteed in life is death, unfortunately, as harsh as it may seem. And the younger generation is by implementing in them into having little dishes, like for example, chicken nuggets and chips. Now I do chicken nuggets ourselves, but we do chicken tikka and chips, and with no spice. So when the kids eat it, it's just as good as, but with just a little bit of kick to it. Eventually, when you start off young, then bit by bit, they'll get more braver and they'll start exploring other dishes. That way, I've retained them, because otherwise, due to lack of integration, sometimes people are very apprehensive coming into an Indian to eat because they think, oh, tummy upset or this. But once they come in, you've captured them, and that 18 to 25-year-old then start coming over and over again, because the older generation are eventually going to phase out, and the younger generation starts. So that's my target clients all the time.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. We are going to be running out of time very, very soon, so I think we need to ask our panel judges your final comments before we close the show and actually find out the results very soon. And if I can start with Graham in the middle first.
Yeah, I think the feedback would be that the benefits that you're seeing from the EPOS system and you're seeing front of house, look to the future and consider how that technology will help you in the kitchen. I haven't really experienced it tonight. I mean, I won't get you to answer, but I mean, if you had to name a piece of equipment in the kitchen that's connected, apart from the EPOS machine, you would probably maybe struggle to come up with it, but currently in the market you'll find dishwashers, you'll find combi ovens, you'll find many bits of modern
one of our
kitchen
contestants
equipment
did mention
connected.
they've got a dishwasher.
Yeah, but are they connected? Can they see how many washes they're doing? Can they see those results? So think about the benefits you're getting front of house, transfer that to back of house, and consider making that investment in equipment which will give you a fantastic return on investment and grow your profits.
Wise words, wise words. The same applies to Abdul Haq, your
has covered back of house quite a bit. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about front of house advice. Technology is to make your life easy. So what you want to do is get the right product, right branded one, and return on investment. Nowadays, you invest on house and other things, you're probably getting 5 to 8% return. But on your business, when you do invest on right technology, of course, you can get up to 300% return. You know, you spend on EPOS system 2 to 3 grand, and you kind of saving one staff about 10 grand or so. That's a good 300 to 400% investment. So it's important that you do the cost saving and always check which brand you're going for. Now, Amra Hoinani, they just go for any brand, but you also need to know you don't need the technology initially, but once you invest on technology, become business critical. You get used to it. For example, EPOS, everyone mentioned, you forget your menu, over the time, your customer get used to printed bill, so you become business critical. Now, if you gone and cheap and cheerful and not gone for a branded company who can't give you support 7 days a week, you're going to have all sorts of problems. And then you're never going to use technology. So it's also important that you also look at other factors, like which brand are you going for, and how much cost saving you are doing. And also, of course, training is important. And you said wonderful things, how you motivate your staff. Because at the end of the day, the boss is just not going to use the technology. It's the staff going to use it. So you need to motivate them enough, train them enough, get them ready. And then on long term, you have good cost saving and good revenue increase. And that will help your business.
That's great. Thank you very much, Abdul Haq. If I can go over to our special judges, if I can start with Abdul Bari, your closing comments from today's show and any advice or any thoughts that you can give?
I mean, I think everybody should start looking according to their business, what sort of equipment they can use in the kitchen. There's many things you can use, like dishwasher, restaurant, conventional ovens, and onion chopping onions and everything. I mean, you get a small gadget, cost very little, but it helps a lot. Many things you can do, like for presentation, you can use small gadgets. Nowadays, YouTube is good thing. You can see many things what you can do with small gadgets. I mean, for restaurant, presentation is important, and to make your dish nicely presentable, you can use many small gadgets. And I think conventional companies should go to involve with our restaurant that what their machines can do for our restaurant. I think that is lacking. Our restaurant needs to know what technology can do for them.
Thank you, Abdul Bari. If I can move on to Kamal Zaman, is there any closing comments that you'd like to share?
Well, I mean, I can see, all of these participants, they are, really digitally expert. But I will request, especially about Google AdWords and the Google feedbacks, very careful, like putting a false feedback in Google is really affects. And also you have to concentrate on your contents of your website or Facebook. Already our honorable judge, one of them is mentioned about, decent post, decent blogs or any ad you put on Facebook, which should be, I see sometimes it's not like, and you need to know your market, who is you are marketing to. Is this the young people, or is it the, the people, older people, like my age people? That's it, actually.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That's very, very valuable. If I can ask Sultan Babar some closing comments on from what you've heard today, and any advice and tips.
To be very honest with you, I'm very impressed. I think you have done quite a lot of work. I think you are putting yourself in well in forefront. But you don't have to stop there. You have to look at what else you can do. And your surrounding, wherever you are, what sort of, as my colleague said, the age group and everything. This is targeted marketing, which Basil Spice is doing very well. I think that's the thing you should do. And don't stop just whatever you are doing and think that that's it, I'm doing very well. You don't have to stop. You have to think like the Microsoft chap. You have to look continuously for what else you can do.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you very much. If I can get Farad Hussain Tipu, yep, just to give some 30 seconds.
I'm really happy because they've inspired me a lot, because they're all expert, and thank you very much to all of you. And I think it's most important, the niche marketing, because everybody, the restaurant is not in like national market. It's a niche market, 5 miles or 10 miles or 20 miles. So you need to know your customer, and the marketing you're doing, you have to give importance to what you are giving, because it's just sending picture of dishes. It's not like going to attract the customer. You need to give them something, or how you can them. Even you can do quiz, for the marketing. In the Facebook, you can do a quiz. Give a picture of a dish and tell your customer to guess what's the name of the dish, and so you can find a lot of comments, you can find a lot of involvement on your Facebook message, the message you're sending, then you can give this dish free to the customer, and that way really you can do this kind of marketing.
Very good. Thank you, Father Tipu. We've actually come to that stage where very soon we're going to actually find out who our winners are tonight. Obviously, all 4 of you are absolute winners. You've done really, really well today. And our mentors, I'll come to you in a second. I think I've had a quick look. I think there's 2 on each side. 2 from you, Sammy? Yeah. And there's 2 from you, Kasim. Looks like that. So it looks like, it could be a quite close contestant. Obviously, I'll come back to you in a second. But the results have come in, and we have them here. Obviously, it's been down to the judges tonight. You've worked really, really hard. I can see lots of paper, lots of scribbling, both with our special judges. You've done really well. And I'm going to press a button in a second and find out who's going to win. So without further ado, good luck, guys. Hopefully you're all winners here tonight. But only 2 of you can go through to the Business Conference 2020. Fingers crossed, we'll find out who's going to go through right now. And the results are as follows. We have Shoreditch Fish and Chips with 80% of the votes, followed by Basil Spice with 72. Unfortunately, we're going to have to lose Curry Pot and the Lancer tonight. You both came in at 66. It's been a very, very close-knit fight today. You're all winners tonight, but only 2 of you will go through. If I can first get the Lancer and Curry Pot to come on stage first. Obviously, you've done really, really well. Congratulations. You're winners in your own right. Yeah. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. Being able to speak to some of the pros and very experienced people out there, because I'm a young guy, so I want to take this to the next level, because I think you need young blood to grow the industry, because I think the industry is dying. Eventually, if the people like us don't look after it, I know we can have a fancy job in London, in Canary Wharf, whatever, but however, we still need to look after our elder generation, because they helped us initially to bring us to the country and help us grow into this amazing country. So it's a
well done. Congratulations, well done. Our winners from tonight's event, we have Shoreditch Fish and Chips, and we have Basil Spice, Adam as well. Come on stage, both of you. Congratulations, well done. Thank you. You've all worked really well tonight. Very quickly, you've got 10 seconds. How do you feel?
Thank you very much. 10 seconds. If we had more time, it's really nice to listen to all your experiences, but if we had more time, we could have shed a lot of more things.
We've
I've
got
had
Business
loads of stuff to say.
2020,
but
fingers crossed.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. And Adam, if I can get some closing comments, how do you feel?
No, thank you. It's for me. It's been an interesting 2 years, and the fact that I've got wisdom people around yourselves, you could always pick on knowledge and adapt to it and multiply it so that we could add the 21st century in. So thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Mentors, let me come to you guys. Yeah. Obviously the mentors, Kashim.
I'm really pleased. I mean, Jashim has done extremely well, so I'm pleased that he's won. But what I will say is this:
they're both winners.
They, of course they are. Yeah, of course you're all winners. But what I will say is this: in the current climate of rising costs, means that we have to look at cutting costs. That is the only way we can increase revenue. So that's when you go back, guys, today, think about that. Doesn't mean that you've got to go and buy yourself a rational oven. You could do simple things like changing your light bulb from normal halogen bulbs to LED bulbs. So simple things like that. Think about those. Thank you.
And Sammy, obviously you're a mentor as well tonight.
Yeah, just want to say congratulations to everyone here. Obviously, Adam, well done for getting through. But what I would say is this: technology, like Hokbai said, is supposed to make your life easier. Make sure whatever technology you invest in actually fits your restaurant purpose or your takeaway purpose. Don't get obsessed with technological changes. Actually use it to help your business, because sometimes we get so obsessed we start buying things we don't need. Take it forward. Thank you so much. It's been a delight to listen to you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sammy, for actually sharing your thoughts with us. Obviously, we've heard from our judges. Judges, we're going to run out of time very, very soon. Is there anything you want to finally say, Abdul Haq? You've got 10 seconds.
No, I think everyone did well. This show is all about really finding solutions and sharing ideas. So everyone is winners. We made it a competition just to make it a bit more exciting. So, guys, don't get upset. You can come for another round or next year. That's not a problem.
Congratulations. I mean, you're all winners in your own right, and I think tonight's been about sharing your information and your knowledge. And obviously, both are winners from tonight's episode. You'll actually go through and get a ticket to the grand finale for Business Conference 2020. So that's where, that'll be 12 rounds of boxing. So get ready for that. Coming back to Graham, is there anything you want to finally just wrap up by saying anything?
No, I think Rationale are happy to be invited, and obviously it's a great chance for you guys to look at innovation in the kitchen. Go away and see what's out there and see what you're currently potentially missing out on and how it can benefit your business. Fantastic.
And if I can ask, Kamal Yakub.
Thank you, Halal, for inviting me. I want to congratulate all of you. Adam, I like your beard.
Original goatee.
I want to say one thing. I'm very happy to see that you all are looking at new technologies and you are using technology. So that's a good sign, and I hope the others follow you, because a lot of our restaurant owners don't do that. But it's time they did, they have to evolve. So that's all I can say, and congratulations to you as well.
Thank you very much to all our contestants tonight. Thank you very, very much to all our panel judges, also to our special judges, the mentors, especially you, the audience. We've had a great show tonight. There's a lot we can take home. And I think it's about time that we actually find out. Our actual next episode will be on the 16th of July, episode 3, Healthy Food Options and New Concepts. And now we'll have a look at the next schedule of live shows coming up soon.